Today, Paris is expected to reach 34 degrees Celsius, Frankfurt 35 and Madrid 37. Tomorrow, temperatures are expected to rise even further, with 36 Celsius forecast for Geneva, 37 in Berlin and 38 degrees in southern France. Well, Rosie and theCUBE have been finding out how various European cities are planning to keep their residents cool. Rosie.
It is going to be hot, hot, hot and continue throughout the week. You may already have felt the temperatures start to rise to be unusually high for this time of year. But have a look over here. That's anticipated temperatures in Friday in France, 41 degrees. Now that means the country and its government in particular is preparing for the heat wave, because you'll remember back in 2003 there was a devastating heat wave. Thousands of people lost their lives because they were unable to cope with the extreme heat. The consequence has been this huge strategy put in place by the French government. The Labour Minister, posting this on Twitter, has said, let me just remind this to all employers, okay? Make sure you look after the people who are working for you. Look at the temperature of the offices that you're running, arrange schedules. It might be that some people should come in a little bit earlier to avoid that horrible rush hour heat. Provide fresh water, refreshments and protection from the heat. But it's not just people going to work that need protection. Of course, it is children too. Now, summer means exams start, but the Education Minister has posted this and has said for those students who are supposed to be taking exams this week, good news for them at least, they've been postponed. That is postponed, not cancelled, so that revision will have to carry on this week. But also the Health Minister has got in touch on Twitter and has just said, look, there's this telephone number, take note of it. It's a free line for protection advice for you and those around of you. Take note of it if you need it and use it. On city levels as well, people have really been kicking into gear. The Mayor of Paris has said we've got fans in nurseries and schools. We've got special refreshed cooler rooms for the elderly. We're opening many of our parks and our pools for longer hours. And also in Grenoble, the Mayor of Grenoble has posted this interactive map which shows you cooler spots, parks that you can go and visit, and also pools as well to try and keep cool. Well, let's have a look at what some other European cities are doing to try and keep their residents from getting overheated. Well, Jack is in Brussels for us. Jack, what are residents in Brussels doing to try and stave off the heat and keep cool?
Well, at the moment, Rosie, the main thing that the Belgian authorities have done is to suspend the horse-drawn carriages that are taking tourists around the cities of Brussels, Bruges and Antwerp. They say that it's unfair for the horses to be pulling the tourists around in such extreme heats. At the moment, the temperature yesterday was around 30 degrees. It's expected to go somewhere near 33, 34 today here in Brussels, but perhaps not so high to tomorrow. And in Belgium, an official heat wave is classified as 3 days over 30 degrees heat. So at the moment, the advice from the government is that this isn't an extreme heat wave quite yet in Belgium, but that everyone should be careful, everyone should be making sure they're drinking enough water, making sure they're staying cool, staying in the shade, wearing sun cream when the sun's out. It's hot here, over in Berlin. It's been hot for a while. Jessica Soltz is there for us.
Yes, indeed, Jack. Well, Berlin, as other parts of Germany, have been experiencing temperatures of over 30 degrees, much warmer than usual for this time of year, for several weeks now. And as the days hot up, big open air areas like this shallow fountain behind me in the centre of the city, as well as many of the city's lakes surrounding the city, become very popular points for visitors to the city and also locals to cool off after work. However, authorities, state authorities and the Red Cross have been warning people about spending too much time out in the sunshine. 2018 saw a historic heat wave across Germany, and 500 people, nearly 500 people in Berlin alone died last year because of heat-related illnesses during that heat wave. So authorities this year really not taking any chances. They're outlining lots of ways within which to stay cool, and also telling especially old people and sick people to stay at home during the warmer hours. This, as it looks like over the next 1 or 2 days, Germany is going to beat its record temperatures that have been held for 70 years for the month of June, as it creeps up to 40 degrees in the west and the south of the country over the next 2 days. Here in the east of the country, still very hot in the region of Brandenburg, which surrounds Berlin. There have already been forest fires. 70 hectares of forest was burnt to the ground yesterday, and fire authorities there have been circling areas they're calling red zones, which are particularly susceptible to heat waves, as this is an area which lots of dense, dry forest, which is very vulnerable to the heat. It's of course not only here in Germany that's where the temperatures are peaking, but also of course down in southern Europe. Jaime Velasquez is in Madrid for us. Jaime, Spain is a country that's very much used to these long hot summers. What exactly are authorities doing there?
Yeah, indeed, we are very used to very hot weather during the summer, but these kind of temperatures are not that common during the month of June. Actually, only 10 times a heat wave has hit Spain in June, but 5 of them has taken place actually in the last decade. So this is a clear indication that Spain is heating up. We are now enjoying a very nice temperature of 22 degrees. As you can see, people are exercising at the moment here at the Retiro Park, but the temperatures will increase during the day, especially from tomorrow Wednesday and until next week. The authorities are saying that this heat wave is can be especially harsh due to the intensity. We're going to reach 42 degrees in, for example, cities like Zaragoza and Pamplona in the northeast of Spain, and they could set a record high for this time of the year. And also the extension, only the northern coast and the Atlantic coast of Spain is going to be spared from this heat wave. And also because of the extension and also because of the other things surrounding the heat wave. The authorities have issued an orange alert and are urging the population to drink a lot of water, stay in the shade, try to avoid outdoors, especially during the central hours of the day, and also not to exercise and do any physical activities during the day, outdoors, especially during this heat wave, Rosie.
Jaime in Madrid, Jessica in Berlin, and also Jack in Brussels. Thank you for those updates. So Europe and the cities within it are preparing for the heat wave as it starts to get even hotter as the week goes on. The Interior Minister of France have said be vigilant and adopt the right behaviours. But what are those? Well, here in the Q we've been looking at all the advice issued by various governments, and a few things come out in common. Keep your blinds and your windows shut when you go out for the day. That will keep it cooler inside. Keep hydrated. Just keep fueling yourself with those fluids. Not alcohol, of course, but lots of water, maybe even fruit juices or smoothies. Stay inside in those really peak hours of the day. That's about 11 until 3 o'clock. Make sure you check up on friends and family. We know that in 2003, when lots of people died in that heat wave, it was people who were isolated or lonely. And finally, don't do lots of exercise. If you're training for a marathon, maybe you give yourself a week or two before you get back on the roads. The main thing is stay cool and look after each other.